Hello, my name is Christy Lozano. My previous video was about the secret partisan curriculums being hidden from parents and taxpayers in Santa Barbara Unified School District. Hiding curricula is bad. It's bad because it undermines trust between teachers, students, parents, and the community. Hiding lobbying contracts might well be worse, especially when used to undermine our democracy. I'm going to walk you through what happened when an unaccountable bureaucrat tried to suppress your democratic choice. It all began when I decided to run for Santa Barbara County Superintendent of Schools. To be clear, I'm not making this video about my campaign or all the wonderful things I would do if elected to improve schools in Santa Barbara County. I will do another video about that. I am making this video to warn people about the ways in which unaccountable bureaucrats right here in Santa Barbara County abuse their power to undermine our democracy. I am making this video because the stakes are bigger than me, they are bigger than any of us, and they go to the very heart of our democracy. Are we to have choices or choose what we are told? A lot of people warned me against running for Santa Barbara Superintendent of Schools. The entrenched status quo would retaliate against me with a vengeance, and I'd never get a job again, or worse. After much soul searching, I decided to run. I rounded up the $2,036 filing fee, provided my credentials and forms, and on March 11, 2022, filed to run for Santa Barbara Superintendent of Schools. The county registrar accepted my credentials and my money. What happened next was a shocker. Within 10 days of filing, I was served with an ex parte, speedy lawsuit, making the faulty claim that my administrative credentials were not valid. The lawsuit threatened me with paying back the expensive Sacramento attorney's legal fees for the privilege of suing me. If I were to be taken off the ballot, the incumbent superintendent, Susan Salcido, would win without ever having to campaign, explain her performance, or address the failed status quo in our county schools. Without democratic choice, there is no accountability. I didn't have a trust fund to pay these Sacramento lawyers. I'm a teacher and a single mother. I needed help fighting this lawsuit, and I needed it fast. Thankfully, I was introduced to Thyne III, a ubiquitous Santa Barbara lawyer. When I told him what happened, he was very concerned. He too saw this as a threat to our country's democratic principles of openness, competition, and fair play. We the people must choose our leaders, not some shadowy forces that try to rig our elections. John took me on pro bono. The firm suing me was called Olson Remcho LLC, headquartered in Sacramento. Based on its own website, Olson Remcho is a pretty highly rated boutique law firm that advises government agencies, among other groups, and has drafted groundbreaking initiatives on marijuana legalization and public school funding, just to name a few. Marijuana and school funding? On March 30th, Thyne successfully argued in Santa Barbara Superior Court that I was indeed qualified for the ballot. This qualification was also echoed by the Santa Barbara County Assessor's Office, who believed in the right of the people to decide. Judge Colleen Stern ruled in favor of the facts and democratic principles. After 40 years without any electoral challenge, the choice of Santa Barbara County Superintendent will finally be on the ballot this June 7th. Our win for democratic choice helped expand democratic choices elsewhere. Up in Tuolumne County, a similarly situated candidate was reinstated on the ballot on the basis of our Santa Barbara Superior Court decision. Standing up for democracy and winning feels great. These values are why I volunteered as a medical evacuation specialist during the Iraq War, and why so many of us, both left, right, and center, believe that America is strongest when we are open, transparent, and respect each other's choices rather than shut each other down. So who would suppress our democratic choices? In the lawsuit itself, a woman named Molly Culver was listed as the plaintiff. But it quickly became clear that this childless political consultant and cannabis lobbyist was but a willing pawn in a far bigger plot. On April 1st, Jerry Roberts' Newsmakers episode featuring award-winning columnist Nick Welsh helped connect the dots. Let me play the tape.
So Nick, we talked a little bit about why Molly Culver, the ace Democratic consultant who likes to stay below the radar, was the one who put her name as the plaintiff on this suit. And you reported out kind of a shaggy dog story about the connections there. Talk about that column.
Yeah, Molly Culver is a political consultant who has had many clients, usually on the Democratic side of the aisle. And she's done lots of bond measures for educational fund, educational bond measures. And of course, she's done cannabis. And so she's quite well known and has sort of disappeared in the last couple of years. So it was a surprise to see her. She is extremely tight with Jack O'Connell. She started off her career working for Jack. Jack O'Connell, for people who forgot, used to represent us here in Santa Barbara in the State Assembly, State Senate, and then later went on to be State Superintendent of Public Instruction. So he is a very big wheel in educational circles. The law firm that represented her also happens to represent the State Association of county school superintendents.
According to Nick Welsh, Jack O'Connell and Molly Culver are extremely tight, and implied Jack, as well as the State Board of Superintendents, where Susan Salcido recently served, was implicated in the lawsuit against me.
The other interesting thing you noted was that Susan Salcido, who is the incumbent superintendent who's being challenged by Christy, is on the board of this superintendent organization.
Yeah.
I've never met Jack, but I know that he was the California Superintendent of Public Instruction from 2003 to 2011. Jack was at the very top of the education system in our state. A very big wheel in educational circles indeed, according to Nick Welsh. So where is this big wheel now? A Google search revealed that Jack O'Connell has been running a lobbying company called Capital Advisors Group LLC. Jack O'Connell's partner, Abe Hagela, worked as the predecessor to Olson Remcho, the Sacramento law firm that filed the lawsuit against me to limit choice in Santa Barbara. Perhaps Nick Welsh does deserve his many awards for making a public connection between the lawsuit against me and Jack O'Connell. I just wish Nick had kept digging. To get at the truth, we need to follow the money. And the Santa Barbara County Office of Education does not make that very easy to do so. I began by following the money and immediately reached a dead end with the County Board of Education's dismal public disclosure. The county education budget is hidden deeply within the board meeting minutes, and nowhere is there a public list of vendors. For an agency with a $100 million budget and 550 employees and millions going out the door to unknown vendors, that is a curious omission. It took a FOIA request to uncover a hidden contract between Jack's lobbying firm and the Santa Barbara Superintendent of Schools. To summarize, Santa Barbara County Education Office has retained Jack O'Connell's political lobbying firm, Capital Advisors Group LLC, since 2013. Jack's firm is paid a $3,000 a month retainer. So far, Santa Barbara County Office of Education, which is taxpayer funded, has paid Jack O'Connell's firm over $300,000 for political consultation and updates on political developments. This hidden lobbying contract raises a lot of questions. Was attempting to remove me, the first electoral challenger in 40 years, a political development that fell under this agreement's description of services? Have such tactics been used before to suppress democracy in other superintendent elections? Why is the current superintendent, Susan Salcido, using taxpayers' money to pay for a lobbying firm, which according to Nick Welsh, looks to be behind the failed scheme to suppress democracy? Had such a scheme succeeded, Susan Salcido would run unopposed, totally unaccountable, just like it's been for 40 years at the Santa Barbara County Office of Education. A journalist from the Santa Maria Sun questioned the incumbent Superintendent Salcido about her role in all this. Susan Salcido responded with, "No comment." No comment? If she didn't have any involvement, why didn't she just say so? Hiding behind no comment demonstrates a lack of integrity. And where is the Santa Barbara County Office of Education board in all of this? Did they even know about this hidden contract between Jack O'Connell's firm and Susan Salcido when they approved the Santa Barbara County Office of Education's annual budget? This lack of openness and lack of integrity is precisely why there needs to be a change at the top of our county educational leadership. How is it okay for our county superintendent of schools to care more about keeping her position than protecting our democracy? What does that teach our children? It's time to cancel all lobbyist retainers and bring back integrity to the position of superintendent. The sunshine of transparency in budgeting, vendors, and curriculum is badly needed. As citizens, we must remember that our education system belongs to the people of Santa Barbara County, not just to those unaccountable and entitled few who have run it into the ground. Thank you.